is Royal Hotel. After the show, there's a big program. So you more carry everything I need to carry in your jacket. If vice president is supposed to be there. Yep. Oh, I can't open the alarm.
See,
Where?
see.
Oh, that's the sensible guy, yes. Okay, so yes, we want to welcome you back. We want to welcome you back, and we are glad that we are back. Joseph, how you doing?
I'm okay, Magdalene. Good afternoon.
Yeah, so thanks to our prime sponsor, Echo Bank Liberia, and guess what? Echo Bank is going to come on every Wednesday, right? Wednesday 3 to 4 p.m.
Yes, Wednesday, 3 to 4 p.m. So out there now, you got to let our
Get
audience know.
adjusted, yeah, get adjusted to the schedule, and we will start the program at 2:30.
Sure.
Yeah, it was just a little misinformation or communication, and we had to start the program. The program starts at 3 o'clock.
So that means the audience needs apology.
Yeah, we sincerely apologize.
Okay.
We sincerely apologize, but we start the program at 2:30, and 3 o'clock we give our sponsor the time to go on with the program, the 1 hour, and then after we come back and continue with our second segment, discussion or guest. So that's how I want to welcome you. This is State of the Nation. We are here to serve the public, and that's what we sign up for. And we are glad that you are there. We respect you a lot. If you are looking for a bank, please get Echo Bank. Sign up to Echo Bank. If you are just coming in the country, we'd like to say welcome. So yes, so that is it. And Joseph, how are you doing?
Once again, I'm okay. 21 days to Christmas, and there's a special countdown. I will remain on this countdown that we can reach to Christmas, Magdalene.
Okay.
Yes, because we're in the festive season now, so we got to remind our people out there. So for those of you that sometimes do wasteful spending, yes, we got to remind you on a daily basis because it's a complete countdown to the festive season that we all are gearing towards. So, well, I'm okay, and together it's good to be together on this wonderful day that we all call Wednesday.
Okay. Okay. So these programs that are I mean, like for Friday, we're not going to come on Friday. We have the police show, and then we also have the National Identification Registry on Friday. That's 4 to 5 p.m.
So that means Friday, State of the Nation will be completely out.
Yeah, it's out on Friday. So get used to that, and we will have to find a way to bring the business show closer.
Yes, I think what you're trying to drive at is that radio is now a multiple choice. Yeah, so you got to let the audience know what is going on before, because
yes, you have to inform them. You have to respect the audience. Great. You have to inform them because it is because of them that we are here. So that's why I always like to do this and inform people. Always inform people what's coming up, and it's important. And that's why you see, I want to tell you what's coming up on Friday. Chief Chris and I, we've been discussing about scraping Friday off.
Okay.
Yes, and then if he asks you ask him right now, he will tell you. And then I said, but we have to respect our audience, and tell them what's coming up. We will not be coming on Friday because we want to give a break and enjoy the weekend, or sometimes have to visit friends and family.
And with that, it have all down to conclusion, right?
It has boiled down to conclusion. So we've concluded now. Friday, we have the police show, and also have the next team coming at 4 to 5.
And those are all good programs. Like the police, you got to know about the security system in the country, the police, the National Identification Register, and stuff like that.
You have to know.
Yes,
you have to know.
You
have to know. Just the way we have the anti-drugs awareness hour, and we've been going with that program. Guess what? I told you yesterday, right? The former director general for administration, he worked during earning time, and he was one of our chief panelists here on the anti-drug show. So you know why he's been appointed to that very position. Yeah, he's been appointed to that very position, and we are so glad. So we have our guest today.
Magdalene, before you can cross over to your guest,
Yeah.
or in this public manner, let me just extend our deepest condolences to our peace loving, so I say our neighboring country. They are not neighboring country, but let me extend our condolences to the
Guinea?
Ghanaian government. No,
Okay.
and I think you heard about the death of Anna Quinn. He was the first force commander for ECOMOG.
Yeah,
And,
I saw that.
And what really grabbed me this morning was that he was the first force commander for ECOMOG, one, and he was the force commander at the time Joe was assassinated.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I thought it was, I said, well, after the death of Prince Johnson, I'm not going to, because at that time, he was here and he hails from the West African state of Ghana. So serving as the first force commander, it was the time Joe left this earth. And you understand? And Prince Johnson then at the time was into the picture, because at that time you only had 3 warring factions at the time. At that time it was
you were big boy by that time.
But I'm older than you, so I get to this story.
I know, but I was. Oh my God.
So at the time we have only 3 warring factions. Prince Johnson have left the NPF now. This is where he founded the INPF at the time. And then ECOMOG came, because at that time they were not ECOWAS.
Okay.
They used to call them the Economic Community or Monitoring Group, something like that.
Yes.
ECOMOG.
Yeah.
At that time, that's how they used to call them. So General Kuni is no more. And they play their own part when it comes to bringing peace to this nation. So in this public manner, we don't want to be ungrateful to the people of Ghana.
Yeah. And they have elections coming up. They have elections coming up, and we have, we have this tide. We have a very strong relationship. Yes, very strong relationship with Ghana. And Ghana and Liberia has been historically strong, rooted in culture, historical and diplomatic ties. And both countries have historical connections through the transatlantic slave trade and Pan-Africanism. And the how you call it, the 2 countries, we have the 2 countries are members of the ECOWAS, and the AU, African Unity, right?
Sure.
Both countries are members of the ECOWAS, and also I'm trying to look at
African Union.
African Union.
Yes, the African Union.
Yes. So and then Ghana play a critical role in mediating peace during Liberia's civil wars, right? Accra hosted peace talks, and Ghana contributed troops to the ECOWAS monitoring group, which was ECOMOG, like you just talked about, to restore stability. And also, the Ghana hosted Liberian refugees during the wars, particularly in Bujumbura refugee camp, showcasing humanitarian solidarity. So
they play a major role on a serious note.
Yeah, so they play a major role, and we have how you call it? We have Senator Edwin Mary Snow, who leads the ECOWAS delegation to form part of the observers to Ghana, and we're going to be following activities. We're going to be following activities there for their elections, and we'll be bringing happiness of everything that's going to be going on in Ghana, because we are one.
Yes, we are one.
We are one. And what happens to a member country, we should always be concerned, and that's why we have always been. They've always helped us, and we too, because we are one. We are members of. We are all in West Africa, and they are all they're neighboring countries, right?
Yeah, no, not so much of neighboring, but they are part of African countries.
Yeah,
West African countries, and like you stated earlier on, they play major role when it comes to Liberia peace process.
Yeah, major role.
On a serious note.
Yes. So if we're talking about peace today, like David Coty would say, I was there when the Accra Peace Accord And doing the Accra Peace Accord. That's
Yeah.
2003
Yeah,
or
there were so
2003?
many. There were so many peace conferences held. Accra Peace Accord, Yamoussoukro
No,
1,
but
2, 3, and 4.
I'm talking about the Accra Peace Accord. The one at the
So
Mabesito
what
fight.
did
What I'm
the
talking
report do you?
about. What did he say?
He said you were part of it.
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah, but at that time, David Kuti name was David Kuti.
Yeah, at that time he was a link to the President Taylor.
In fact, at the time, Taylor at the time when Queen was serving as commanding general,
Yeah.
Taylor was serving as the head. They had Greater Liberia and Lesser Liberia, and there was a boundary between Mount Barclay and that. So at the time, there were different government here. At the time, they have formed the government in Banjul. That government was formed in Banjul, and that brought the late Amos Sawyer to power because he was the interim president at the time. Yes. So when that government came, and this was the government that Taylor did not recognize. Taylor said he would not recognize that government.
The same thing Donald Trump.
Yes. In fact, ECOMA received real latches when it comes to battle at the time. Yes, because they fought them bitterly. In fact,
you are an old man.
Yeah, for ECOMA to even learn, it was not an easy thing.
Yeah, I mean, ECOMA, I was very, very, very small at the time when you'll be talking about.
And you know what happened at the time? Let the guests wait busy. Let him get some history. Yeah. So at the time, what happened now?
We can take it for 35 minutes.
They found out that indeed Queen was a bit soft at the time. There was another chosen man that came into the picture at one at the Tanju Olori. And this was a man who said 45 miles from the city before you can even land in Liberia. Because to be frank, at the time, Taylor had men. They were real men at the time. Yes, but we don't want to go back to.
Yeah, we don't want to go back. But we're just following activities. We will be following activities from Ghana and ECOWAS Parliament selects Liberia Senator Edwin Snow Jr. to lead the ECOWAS Parliament delegation, and I've informed that they have already arrived and started business already. So yes, I want to say congratulations to the first female president of Namibia. Yes, first female president. She's 72 years old.
Women in leadership, right?
Yes, women in leadership. Women are in leadership. So Namibia is a country, estimated population of 2.7 million people. It's a small population. Yes, very small. And it got an independence 1990, March 21.
So that means our population is more than.
Yeah, I say we are all.
But what do you mean by that? How are you thinking of it?
I will tell you. But I will tell you. So, but she.
But Liberia is on record for history now, so we have some country in terms of population. So, with that, we too are on record.
Yeah. So, she's the first female president. And I want to say congratulations to her as well. I mean, her name, the name can give me hard time, but I will try to call her name. Her name is Nitumbo Nandi Dantwa.
What at the time, I don't think it was a touch show in this country when Johnny Lewis was alive, right?
Johnny Lewis.
Yeah, the former.
No.
Oh, the former teacher said you mispronounce, you go to court.
What is not a name?
In fact, at the time, I remember we used to be.
They made a name. I've been hearing. I've been hearing. I've heard about him. I was a
Chief Johnny Lewis. That was the name.
Yeah, but I think I was in high school or maybe early university.
You missed one letter in a man in a trouble.
Oh, you mean for the print?
From the print.
Okay.
But there were times too, even from the electronic angle. People mispronounce names. So if you mispronounce names, say, well, who that other person that
the choir CEO was straight. The choir CEO was straight.
So people to be very, very careful.
Yeah.
When it comes to Johnny Lewis at the time.
Yeah. Yes. All right. So we'll take our guests at let's say 3-4 minutes from now. And then we will have a wonderful discussion. You want to announce our guest for today?
Yes. Let's announce our guest who is already seated in Studio B. He's Anthony Wedded. Anthony Wedded is the Chief Executive Officer of the Anthony Wedded Foundation. And today he sit behind our microphone. I don't know as to whether this is his first time coming, but he will best explain that.
Yeah.
But I also see him along with another person on his extreme left.
Yeah. But before we can go there, thank you. Before we can go there, I don't think that man wants to be heard. You see, he's sitting far on my far right. But before we can go there, let me bring you.
Why you always calling people Chief? You don't make something. Yeah.
But yeah, you Chief. You can wear wrist watch.
Yeah, I'm Josephus Bettie.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. You know, sometimes when I say Chief, you will be a little bit afraid because they kind of think that is attached to it. Sometimes the money and everything. No, forget it when I call it. Don't you have to bother, right?
Okay,
but BWR shuts down classes over on PA situation, and reporting is Emmanuel declared for the Liberian investigator. So I'll just read a few lines, and then we'll go to our guest, right? Yeah, 2 minutes. The administration of the Booker Washington Institute last week instituted a compulsory 8-day break for students, citing financial challenges stemming from unpaid situation, fees and delays in government allotment, despite giving students weeks to meet financial requirements for the 2024 academic year. The administration says the situation has not improved. So tomorrow, God's willing, tomorrow, if we're not on time, we'll tell you, we will inform you, we'll respect you and tell you. But we will be coming on tomorrow by the grace of God. Unlike situation that is beyond our control, right? But we'll come on and then we'll go to our correspondents as usual, speak with them, and then we'll also want to delve into this and asking a few questions because he is the author of this article that was published by the Liberian investigator. So yes, we can now join our guest.
Yes,
how you doing, Chief?
Let's cross over to him.
Yeah, I think we'll have to find a special time for him because he sounds like a walking encyclopedia. Yeah. Yeah, so we are glad to see you here. And when we have foundation, we say, wow, these people, a foundation mean you give a lot of things out to people, you help people, humanitarian activities, right? Okay, so
yeah, I want to begin with his introduction. Who is Anthony Wedded?
Call me Anthony Wedded. Other people say Heaven Sent. Other people say Dry Giant, but I prefer the name Dry Giant.
No,
I'm a Liberian.
Yeah,
I'm a Liberian, better by tribe from Bon County.
Okay.
And, that's Anthony for me.
Okay, begin by telling us about the establishment of this foundation.
So the foundation was established to give back to charity, to give back to our communities, communities that are lacking in so many areas. So the foundation was actually established in memory of how we came up as a kid, coming up as a child who didn't have food to eat, coming as a child who don't even have a parental upbringing. So to see yourself at a level where you have the ability to share, you have to form something in honor of your upbringing and make sure that that thing is genuine, is there to give back to communities and society. So that's why the foundation was founded, and we are grateful that we are living up to the code of our foundation.
Now, tell us, this foundation, is it only limited to Maserati?
Again, I mean, I will keep answering the question. The foundation is actually not only for Maserati. Like I said, we got activities ongoing, Mike, activities ongoing, Bong. We got activities in Maserati. So, Bomi, Bapuli, we also have some activities here. So the foundation is not just for only Maserati County.
Wow, we're experiencing some feedback. Okay, now tell us, what people are listening to you out there. Sorry, we're trying to make some adjustment right here. Just give us a second. We're trying to make some adjustment here. Okay, thank you, Magdalene. Thank you so much. people are listening to you out there. Yes, according to you, you stretch up your hands in so many counties. But what are some of the things that you're working on there?
So again, we are into giving out medication to vulnerable communities, and also in partnership with some hospitals that are lacking in terms of medication. So we also into infrastructure development where we deliver safe drinking water to communities. So we do hand pumps in some communities that have issues of water challenges. We also connect roads and bridges as well, where there are challenges or people being stranded to get to neighboring communities and villages. So we are into that, and as well as the foundation is in the educational area where we empower people. We just recently opened a vocational school that we are training people who graduate from high school and who are into high school as well. That you can be, trained to the technical areas, because it's one thing to start to graduate a lot of people in our societies, and another thing to have them technically engaged and getting prepared for the work market in our country. So you can see somebody graduate from high school, they have to go to find a technical area to learn something for themselves. So where we are right now, the foundation is actually focused on how we can be able to create a working society and be able to help build our communities that are lacking in terms of those necessities that we need to help our community with. So the foundation will continue to do more as we go on and on. We are into construction of town hall as well in communities and youth centers to help give back to young people.
Okay, let's come back to where you hail from. According to you, I want to believe that the office of this foundation is located to where you live, or where is it?
Yeah, the prime office of the foundation is in Johnsonville Township, and that's where the foundation was birthed.
Okay, now, with the exception of going to other counties, let's come back to Johnsonville, where the headquarters is. Now, if you count from Johnsonville Belt, to be specific within the Greenland community, uh, who are some of those beneficiaries that you can really boast of now?
In terms of name, we are
Apparently, you will now to spell out some
we
names.
are not going to call
Yeah,
names of people that
but I
benefit from
guess
the
there have been
foundation.
so many people that have
But
benefited
but
from the
yeah,
foundation.
but we can name some communities that have actually benefited from the workings of the foundation. So the township in general have benefited from the workings of the Wellness Foundation. So you got Kangasound, you got Mount Barkley, you got Johnsonville in general, you got New Israel communities, you got so on and on. The foundation continues to help in those communities. So as an individual, well, we cannot name individual because sometimes the help of the foundation does not take into consideration the name and the tribes and where you come from and what have you. The foundation is looking beyond that level. So we will not be calling names of people on radio that we give assistance to. But what we can assure our people is that we'll be very specific on some of the communities that have benefited and some of the things that they have benefited from our foundation. And we will continue to do that in our own way as a way of giving back to society and communities.
Okay. My attention has also been drawn to the vocational programs that you try to decentralize in other counties. But I'm still taking a look at Montserrat. If you would look at those students that have benefited from your TVET program that are currently ongoing, when it comes to Montserrat, you care to tell us the numbers that can now say, yes, this is where I came from? And some, if so, do you sometimes get good reception for them?
Okay, yes, of course. We got good reception from people who benefited from the Wallet Foundation Vocational Program Empowerment. Currently, as we speak, we may be putting out the first 100 persons from our empowerment scheme program that is ongoing currently. By January, we'll be putting out those graduates from those areas, and we got areas for specialization. We got to do with the tailoring program, got to do with the beauty care program, the pastry, and we just introduced the electricity, the plumbing, and driving institution, driving school that will be able to empower young people. So that especially for our pen boys, you will not continue to be on motorbike from January to December. You got to transition and elevate your status. So it means that in January we'll be resuming and we'll start recruiting people in those areas. So for electricity, when you're in high school, we have the opportunity from 10 to 12 where you can have the opportunity to enroll and be able to be trained in the area of electricity so that you can be an electrician when you graduate from high school. Because the only way our country will be better unless we create what we call a working class society. You cannot have a child graduating from high school and enrolling into the society does not even know where to start from or where to begin their lives. But once that person is technically trained in those areas, for example, you become a professional tailor and be a fashion designer when you graduate from high school, trust me, you don't have to be counting on humanitarian, you don't have to be counting on government to give you a handout. You can simply go into the job market and be able to see how you can fresh out for yourself to extend your education at a higher level. And we will continue to do that as our way of giving back to community and society, like I said. That is the core value for which the foundation was founded, and we are not going to deviate from that.
Okay, while it is true that you just mentioned about a few courses that students will be graduating with, you care to tell us what are some of the courses that you are offering right now?
So, like I said, currently we are offering the tailoring, right? So we got about 50 students who are currently undergoing professional training in the area of the tailoring. And we got the pastry where you learn how to bake bread and do a cake decorations and what have you. So you know how to prepare food. We got those. The department currently is ongoing. We got about 50 students also in that department that are successfully going on a training. And we also have the area of a beauty care. You see a lot of women out there, their faces are looking very bright and shiny. It is as a result of somebody who know how to design and decorate individual. I mean, make somebody appear very decent. So if you see your wife out there very, very beautiful, it is as a result of somebody who went to school and learned how to beautify somebody. So that department is currently ongoing, open to the public, and the public right now to speak. We have about 50 students who also go into that department because we firstly launched the 150 scholarship scheme in those departments. So it was those 3 departments that was open, and we just added to those departments to make it at least up to 6. And effectively will be, we are starting recruitment of students in those departments, and we'll be putting out graduate in January. Effectively, January will start classes for a new group of people that will be enrolling to the institution.
Okay, normally the fish gets rotting from the head now. Why is it true you serving as the chief executive officer for the Anthony Weather Foundation? But I still want to look behind the scene by knowing who is really behind Anthony Weather.
Again, again, Josephus, the truth is that Anthony Weller is married. And I don't like to call her name too much because she's somebody who don't like for her name to be in the public, but she's very supportive.
Yeah,
and
because
very,
but behind every successful man,
she is Madame Weller, Rose Weller, and she's on course with the dream and aspiration of the foundation. Imagine sometimes we don't have food in the house, you say, no, just give. What are we going to reserve? She said, just give. I said, wow. So I mean, she's actually supportive and strong in the process.
yeah, but actually, why it is true you came in with your wife name, but I was talking about extended support. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Who is really behind whether when it comes to extended support?
Again, Josephus, I will say this. Sometimes in this critical time, we don't like to expose the name of donors, but we will consult our donors if they hope that her name will be out there.
Wow, for fear of what?
Again, sometimes in this country, everything people politicize it. When you start to become a humanitarian or good person in the community, people have different thought and thinking. So that's why most time people who are giving to foundation or institution like to keep their privacy in terms of disclosure. So, but I will not call name, but I want to say thank you to all of those who are supporting the Wellness Foundation out there. And we hope that you'll continue to do more in 2025 to continue to give to communities and people. Let me give you a story. I went somewhere to visit a friend in the office. I met a white guy. He said to me, I follow you on a day-to-day basis. I see you giving out to communities. How can you do that? And I sat with him, I explained to him. He said, but can I give back through your foundation? I said, why not? So there was a day I just received a call, my phone, he called me, I quickly rushed out to him. You would not believe Josephus, he took his hand and put it in the pocket, he gave me 50 US dollars. He said, please buy rice, add it to what you have, give it to community people, and let God continue to bless all of us so that we can give back to our people. I said, thank you so very much. That giving, it brought tears in my eyes. I felt that indeed what we do out there, people continue to watch us, people continue to follow our workings, and we are hoping that we'll have humanitarian like him out there who will see our workings and continue to tap onto what we are doing out there, and let people stop misinterpreting what we do out there as a mean of trying to gain some relevance or what have you. Yes, but I will hope that you who also want to gain relevance will continue to do what you can for your communities and your people. So as to who is behind it, these are just humanitarian people who believe that giving is something that we all should engage into to make our society better.
Okay, Mr. Whether with all of these initiatives that you are carrying on in other parts of Liberia, there are times people get through these TVET programs, they go about learning, and then right after graduation, they become complacent. Do you get good reception from some of them? Because every good father want to see a good child.
Yeah, so currently what we're doing, so for those that will be graduating from the first class, that's what we call it the Anthony Wallet Foundation Empowerment Program. We are going to establish some of these people. All right. For example, when you graduate from the pastry department, we'll give you a little establishment. And some of them started telling us, Mr. Wole, we hope that you give us one oven so that we'll go in our communities, we can become interpreter of our own. Yeah, we may not give you oven, but we're going to give you something that when you get back to your community, you can open your own little shop and start to bake bread and do wedding cake and interior decoration for people, even doing wedding. You have your own contract. Like someone else gave me testimony in the last meeting that I just held with them. There was a lady who demonstrated she had 2 Ghana must go bed filled with equipment that she had procured on her own. She said since she graduated from high school since 2008, she have not had the opportunity to go back to school. She have not had the opportunity to be able to follow her education. So when she heard about the Wallace Foundation Empowerment Program, she enrolled it. Today she said to me, I'm so proud that today I can have a contract of my own. I can do people wedding cake, I can bake bread, and people will come and
But do
patronize
you
the bread.
sometimes encourage them by
So,
purchasing, one or two to encourage them?
of course. So let me
Okay.
tell you what they do to me. Sometimes I'll just be saying, I see a whole pan of bread in my house. When I come, I'll see the bill. They say, oh, boy, this department just brought the bread. They say you got to buy it. Sometimes, I mean, it's great. I'm
So meaning
proud.
if even
I'm
another real person, they escalate the prices because they know you the CEO, right?
well, promotion is the order of the day. And even if I buy that bread 3 times the price in the market, I won't regret because I feel so proud that there are people who out there are looking for handout. And with somebody like us who can come in those areas to help them, we are grateful. So, for example, if you graduate from the tailoring department, we will give you a tailoring machine to establish your own little shop so that you can become a fashion designer, become an entrepreneur of your own. So that's the code for which we established the empowerment program. We are hoping that people out there who see the need to give back to community will see the genuinity, will see the fact that we all need to put our hands together and rally around to help vulnerable communities and individuals. Just imagine someone who graduated from school since 2008, high school 2008, is unable to get a job, is unable to go to university. That person is even unable to do a lot of things in society because of the lack of empowerment into education. So that's the reason why I'm giving a clearing call that I would hope that government will start to look in those directions where we can be able to produce what we call a working class graduate from various high school. Because if you start to train a kid from the 10th grade to 12th grade in those various areas, for example, we short of manpower in terms of electricity. We short of manpower in plumbing. We short of manpower in so many areas. But there is a need for us to look at those areas. When you empower those kids, when they graduate from high school, they will not become liability to government or politicians. They will go into the communities. They will find a little petty job to do. They will be able to see how they can return back to high school. That's the reason why most of our young people who graduate from high school, they don't have a way forward. The only thing they do, they will end up in the street, either to ride motorbike or drive a keke on the street to make money. But again, you can make all of the money, but when you don't have the technical training in some area where opportunity can you have, I think that's what happened to our Liberian communities.
Okay. Mr. Whether I listened to one of your speeches. I think you attended one of those school graduation, I think some 2, 3 months ago. You at the time you were calling on the government of Liberia to actually get involved into giving some of these support to schools, both private and that of government school, when it comes to TVET program. I want to believe that your attention has been drawn to something important.
Of course, like I said, the government need to give more attention in training children or school-going kids for high school that will enable them to become a useful citizen when they graduate from high school. The essence of leaving those people just graduating from diploma from high school is not carrying our society anywhere. Because listen, I will tell you for one fact, we already have an under challenge education. We got a very challenging educational system where your teacher will come to class and use blackboard you have a school going kid that go to school and only used to writing, in their copybook, and the teacher write with blackboard and black. From January to December, when you get at University of Liberia or whatever university, you experience the similar. In the 21st century, there's nothing growing in education in our country. The 21st century sort of have experience what we call growth. You go to other countries, you see that it broke out what we call a digital set educational system classes. In Liberia, it's a contrary, all right? You still got schools that using what we call armchair. What is you got to have a carpenter that going to nail something somewhere. Sometimes a break. That's why every year, especially public schools, every year you have shortage of chairs in classes because what we use there is not valid, it's not guaranteed. You go in other countries, you see that those people have a very decent. The environment alone can tell you the quality of the education that you have. If government would just focus and start to establish, for example, make the government institutions attractive, establish computer institutions, and make it a vocational training program. All right, and you also establish, for example, electricity. A school going kid from 10th grade start to learn electricity when they graduate from high school and know how to get themselves in society. They ain't going to count on government for support. We make everything as a liability in our country. So at the end of the day, we got such a country and such a people. So everyone just, let's basically just doing what we're not supposed to do in our country. I feel the pain of young people who go on the street every day just to ride motorbike. Some of these people at the age of 40, because you imagine 18, 19, 20, you start to ride motorbike. At the age of 40, you already have serious medical challenges with cold. What time are you going to live a better life? So my attention is actually drawn to high school because we pass through the system. The system is massive. What can we do to make it better? I don't think government attention is being driven to that. Instead, we are doing what we call power struggle. But again, that's liberal for all of us. Let's watch the process and see.
Okay, there was only gossip coming up in the corner, but before we can get to that, let's look at your instructors. How well do you go about paying them?
Well, again, I pay my instructor very well. The vocational training program is paying instructor according to the labor law. Yeah.
That's higher, total informant.
Of course, we have to do that. Because listen, we got to do it better. So imagine you got a teacher teaching just 8 days a month and you're getting regular pay according to the labor law of our country. So the decent work pay we will not tell you what the amount are, but we are going according to the decent work pay.
If so, then how many instructors can we post off here?
So we currently have 6 instructors, all right? And that's why we recruited those instructors to be able to give the best back to our citizens.
So where is this institution located? The direct location for the benefit?
The institution currently is located in Johnsonville Township on the Pekidas campus. So we just built a new structure there, and that is where the institution is currently located. That's where we're running all of the programs.
Were you partnering with Pekidas?
Oh yes, I'm partnering with Pekidas to run the program. Right now we just building the structure for the foundation in terms of the vocational program. We just built the vocational school for the foundation, and we started doing some technical work there, already setting up those departments. We're hoping that by next year, the foundation will be able to move into our own building.
Anthony Weather, the Chief Executive Officer of the Anthony Weather Foundation. He's here with us on the program, the last segment, State of the Nation. Josephus Bettie is my name, alongside with Magdalene, Saah. And together we are working here straight up to 5 o'clock this afternoon. Let us wait a little bit. We have talked about the foundation. Listening audience are there listening to you. There's a little gossip. Sometimes humanitarians don't go deep into politics, but there's a little gossip in the corner that you have an ambition for 2029. I finish with the question.
So 2029 is still far. There's no need to talk about 2029. I think what is happening in our country is that everyone just people don't able to care. So at the end of the day, when you in the community can care, they say you got ambition. So let's talk about 2029. So people had this seen speculation in 2017 that are going to contest elections. We started.
But contesting is a crime when it comes to a district.
It's not a crime. You see, ambition is something that should come from the people. Again, that's why politicians make mistakes. That's why we have rulers instead of leaders. Okay, people need to be driven by people. People need to give you the opportunity to serve. So, right now I'm serving my capacity as the CEO of the Weather Foundation. So, if my giving will help people and say I want to run 2029, then you go start giving so that we can prepare for 2029. That's all I can say for that answer.
Looking at your hand mark, Do you sometimes feel shame or handsome man like you? The name Anthony Weather is a household name in Liberia. Sometimes when you are invited, maybe for some assistant, and then when they see Anthony Weather coming, they think that he's a man with big cut and stuff like that. Do you sometimes feel shame being so small like this Josephus Bettie with the small body behind the microphone?
So I feel proud
Okay.
because if I was not feeling proud of my body size, I would not like the name Dry Giant.
So how did that dry giant name came about?
So again, the people who gave the name can interpret. According to some people, they
So
said,
that means someone gave you a flower, and
yeah,
this is
yeah,
where they
yeah, yeah,
honor you,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
that name
Call
came
me,
about.
Dry Giant, and they said the
And you
meaning.
feel proud with that name.
Of course, because Josepha, look at me, I'm dry. So why can't I accept Dry Giant? But again,
I sometimes get confused when people use the word dry. Sometimes people use simple English, you little bit slang and
so
stuff. But
Josepha, the truth is, I'm not moved by my body size.
okay.
Let me give you a story. I was attacked by armed robber. Okay, enter my house, and they were looking for who owned the house. I was right there. If God would have not made me smaller as I am, maybe they were going to kill me.
So in a nutshell, what is it that you're trying to portray?
So what I'm
If those
trying
that
to
are getting big,
portray
they will face
is
problem.
that you can get big like this car. I am who I am, and I like who I am. I will always continue to be proud. The one thing that sometimes make me laugh is that when I go somewhere, people looking for Anthony Weller, I say, yeah, I am. I'm proud to be who I am. So my body size does not dictate what I can do.
You blasted a few weeks ago members of the lower house, looking at the hollow balloons when it comes to the lower house, encouraging some graduates not to be complacent because government officials will not help them in certain areas. Are you frustrated about the ongoing saga at the lower house?
Of course, anybody will be frustrated. Joseph, imagine we are almost 2 months going, right? The legislature is at a standstill. The whole country is at a standstill due to the saga at the lower house. And I did not blast the legislature. I was blasting at the political system in totality. Some of the interferences that has been done from the political party at the level of the lower house continue to escalate to what we currently face with. Okay, and let me make this clear for my point that I was raising. All right, you can only have, as a political party, you can only have control over a legislative candidate that is contesting on your ticket to election period. Right after elections, Josepha, trust me, your power on top that person cease to exist. Because the person is going to work for the country, they are not going to work for the political party or the political institution for which they came from. Now, to have a political institution, for example, the Unity Party or the CDC, okay, with all of the hula balloons, I mean, drawing themselves into the conflict at the legislature is what baffles me. Because if we just continue to do what we are doing, our country will continue to go backward. The fight at the legislature ain't going to cease anytime soon, because if, for example, CDC comes to power tomorrow, what is happening at the legislature going to happen if we have a unity party speaker? Because they will automatically want to show and muscle the strength that, yeah, we are a ruling party and we can dictate who be speaker of the lower house. But if you have the political number at the lower house to determine who becomes speaker as an opposition political party, I mean, you give the space. But if you don't have the number, give the space as well. Let the country run on a smooth path. We're supposed to be discussing the progressiveness of our budget now. What we're discussing is the legislature that understands, so we are going at the Supreme Court and all of that. Looking at the trend of leadership since 2005, when Madam Sally came to power, she had a confidence that was serving as speaker. When Senator Snow was serving as speaker then, what happened? Senator Snow was serving because he was a confidant of the ruling party. When Senator Snow was being proven to be an independent candidate and he was not siding with the Unity Party, he was ousted. He was removed from power. The same form of faction that we're experiencing right now. Same thing with Ellis Salah. When Ellis Salah funded the LPDP, he was removed from power. The reason why we have the smooth running of 6 years administrator of Baba Chima as speaker is because Baba Chima was a member of the CDC and he was a confidant of the ruling party. So what they are saying to us is that if you are not a member of the ruling party, of the day-to-day ruling party, you cannot serve as speaker in the lower house. And this is the most frustrating thing. They continue to interfere with the daily running of the house and they expect to have a smooth running of the governance of our country, which is impossible.
With that being said, then you reminds me, it brings me back to the president's statement saying that those happenings within the lower halls, those are normal legislative issue and it can be hindered. Yes, this is why you are saying also you joining him. But you think it will be hindered?
Well, again, it will be handled, but politically.
Oh, politically, okay.
Politically, as you see, you can see the direction it's going right now. Look, let me tell you something. Even if they could make a ruling that will side with Honorable Kufa or Speaker Kufa, they're going to continue in their political directions because the actual vision is that they don't want Speaker Kufa because he's from the CDC to be Speaker of the legislature. That is the bottom line to this whole hula balloon. If you have a Unity Party speaker, trust me, we'll have a smooth run of Unity Party government for the next 5 years to come. But if you continue to have a CDC speaker, they will not allow that and they will continue to fight. And that is where you always get your hand in the cookie jar, experiencing what we experience in the legislature. And I think it's unfortunate. Liberia, we experienced 14 years of civil conflict because of marginalization. And having this kind of democracy that we have, which we have had 3 successive elections and have a smooth transition to opposition political institution, I think it's about time for us to exemplify that in the law of the legislature. I mean, at the heart of legislature to see how we can better up our country and democracy.
The voice of Anthony Weather, the Chief Executive Officer of the Anthony Weather Foundation, Greenland Community District 2, Monterey County. To be specific, the Township of Johnsonville is here with us on the program State of the Nation. For those of you that are out there, if you want to partake on this program, 07772859661. 07772859661. You can have your say and speak to Mr. Anthony Weather on the program State of the Nation this afternoon, Truth 96.1 FM 077.
Yeah, let me have you call the number, Chief. 07772859661 is the number to call if you want to form part of the conversation and get any question. Just stick to the time because we're out of time.
Yes, we're out of time already.
Yeah, so
where are you coming from?
Yeah, you're out of time, and yes, wow. We got a first caller.
Take that call.
Yeah, hello.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine.
This is one Joseph Lee Ward calling from Japan Freeway.
Okay, so it's good to have you. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay.
I want to thank the gentleman in your studio. He's doing well. But I would want to meet with him personally. I would really want to get his number. And I want to meet him to discuss one or two things very important to us what he's doing.
Okay, first one thing for me. You gotta deposit smoothie, oh. Yeah, Chief, we working behind closed door. Me and I talking plenty. When we ready to come, we'll come big. All right, Chief. Okay, we'll connect the both of you. Okay. All right. Yeah. So take more calls.
Yeah, keep your calls coming in. 077.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, Chief. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I just want to ask the student girls, all the foundations. I got the Women in Governance Town Center. We're thinking about looking for means to build for them, a little center for the women. Can you help? Maybe we can get in touch to talk more about it.
Okay.
There's a foundation can extend contribution to the women in Governance Town.
Oh, what is on here again?
Governance Town, Cedarville Community, Lower Johnsonville, right in Jakarta Rehab.
Okay, Jakarta Rehab. You know any Johnsonville?
I know government. Is that Josephus? You know.
I'm just trying to pick on you. Because I hear you call you back. Johnsonville.
Yeah, you people are giving me your name now. Yeah.
Johnsonville.
Yeah, 07772859661. Keep your calls coming in. Let's just take 2 more calls and then we call it a day. We'll get back to him to respond to all of the
calls. You can be responding?
Yeah, while we
you can be responding to the 2 callers.
Yeah, so we are open up to meet with anybody and hope that your intention is genuine for the interest of our people. So we are open up to meet with the first caller, and you can set the time. We'll give our number so you can be able to meet with us and see how we can build a partnership together. So extending our hands to Garfield Town, yes, we are opening up to extend our hands to Garfield Town in Lower Johnsonville. What we hope is that you just take our number and reach out to the foundation office, and we are open to meet with you as well. And to extend our helping hand, we will. We hope that you can get a spot, because one of the challenges we have in Johnsonville is that to do infrastructure development is the issue of availability of site. So we hope that you got excited, especially where we got put 14 water every day. Yes, I mean, Mr. Betty can attest to that. The whole township now is like there's no land in the country for the township. So we hope that you have the site and you can be on account of us to help you in that direction.
Is Anthony Weather? Can we take another call or what do you do? Okay.
I mean, we got three more minutes.
Yes,
so
we have 3 more minutes.
Right?
Yes. Okay. Apparently, you want to touch in something, you can wrap it up within maybe 1 minute 30 seconds that we did not touch. You want to add up.
So the foundation is open to work with anybody, and I am always available. And I want to say thank you for the time again, Magdalene and Mr. Betty. The township, we hope that everyone who is engaged into the social work, especially cleaning up campaign, you can reach out to the foundation. We'll be able to give you a helping hand in terms of giving tools out to people. And we also got the upcoming thank you to all the who joined the tournament I just ended. All of the communities that participated in the tournament, we are going to have a thank you to all of those communities, and we'll be giving out handouts to communities, especially those of them that participated in the tournament. We'll be giving rice, we'll be giving out some little cash prizes to say thank you for participating in the tournament, for uniting our community peacefully. Imagine we had such a very huge tournament where we did not have a complete tournament, and then peacefully we were give out those cash prizes as well. So we hope that the thank you tour will be graced by all of the communities and be able to receive us in open arms.
Okay. Mr. Anthony Weather is the Chief Executive Officer.
Anthony Willard, right?
Yeah,
because when you say William now,
no, not William.
The men are on see the speaker.
In fact, the first time I got in touch with him, I was thinking which type of weather is the weather that the weather we used to use in the days of old.
Okay.
Yeah, that weather like they always got money in
wow, but then it's gonna be you're gonna go.
And that's the type of weather we're talking about.
Okay.
You wanted to raise up something before conclusion. You said you wanted to read something.
But you will have to let the guests go.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
So finally, Anthony, I want to say thank you for accepting our invite on the program State of the Nation, and we hope to talk more on the foundation. While it is true you said 2029 still far, you don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but you still play around here today.
No, we can't discuss. We can't discuss 2029. We're not yet reached 2029. That's what I say. Thank you.
So thank you so much. It was nice having you on the program. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Thanks to you for, and to our guests, our listeners as well. And we're closing now, but we have to close up on this. This is to inform the public that the Chinese Confucius Institute, learning Chinese culture and language, is officially launching its annex at the campus of the Wetona Christian School in Siki Community, Tupou Road, on Thursday, December 5th, 2025. 2025?
Yeah, that next year.
2025, December 5th? Or it's 2024? I'm still, where is Kubo? Kubo announcement. Because he said tomorrow, and he said tomorrow, and he said 2024. So at 2:30 p.m. So the Confucius Institute offers programs for 1 year, and upon completion, outstanding students are offered full scholarship to China. So we thereby encourage all interested individuals who have passion for learning the Chinese language and culture to make use of the opportunity. For more information, you can visit the Wetona Christian School campus located Siki Community, Tupou Road, or better so, you can call 0770307380 or 0886-812107. That's the number to call. So this is to inform the public that the Chinese Institute Learning Chinese Culture and Language is officially launching its annex at the campus of the Wetona Christian School in Siki Community, Tupou Road, tomorrow, 2:30, not 2025, but 2024.
All right.
Yes, 2024.
So that's the clarity there.
That's the clarity. For more information, when you want to learn Chinese, you want to learn Chinese, the way they say they kiss people or they get
you won't get out of
So so if you want to learn Chinese, you want to learn Chinese. You want to learn Chinese.
You know what I mean? You have to call with Chinese.
They bring Chinese very close to you, very, very close to you. at Wetona. Wetona is here in Dubodwo. Yeah, Wetona is here. So that's it.
Yes, that's it. Matthew, you can close us up now.
Okay, so we have to go. We'll see you on tomorrow.
Yes.
We see you on tomorrow, same time, by the grace of God. God's willing, we'll be back.